Hello, this video is for specifically those of you that love God and those of you who love the lost. So the reason for this video is, I'm going to come right out and say it, is that I am looking for folks to invest in God's kingdom at just $10 a month, any amount a month. And so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give a little more clarity about what God is doing through me, how he is doing it, and again, extend that invitation for that investment into God's kingdom. If you would, I mean, how much is a soul worth? There's a question. Any souls that are worth at least $10, right? To God, these souls are priceless. So this is an investment that has eternal rewards, and so I'm going to clarify again more about how he does this through me. What this actually looks like. So I have people whenever I am driving, and I always try to, I typically am trying to mention that I am in ministry because I want to see what their response is. I want to see if they might be somebody that I'm seeking, somebody who is, maybe wondering, a little more about God and whatever that I'm able to minister to, or is this a divine appointment? So I typically mention that. And when people ask me, oh, okay, like, cool, what kind of ministry are you in? And people typically, when you talk about being in ministry, they automatically assume that it's inside of a building. They assume that I am a preacher, a pastor, something that is within a church building setting. And so what I do is I explain that no, I guess if we have to put a label on it, to me, I'm just a regular Christian, but if we have to put a label on it, I guess the label that would describe best what I am would be probably a domestic missionary. So I am always on mission, but instead of my supporters sending me overseas to Africa or to China or, somewhere else, they support me to be right here in my home area. But of course, through technology, I am reaching, people. I'm connected with people across the globe, but the face to face is right here in my home area. And so, I have, so I explain, I have, first of all, a background in real estate, and which is how God trained me for ministry before I was even in Christ. But I have that background, so I have a lot of connections because of that. I have a large sphere of influence because of that, but that also is what drove me into, led me into wanting to take better care, and led me into the life coaching and counseling route. So I have informal training in life coaching and counseling. Some of those specific areas are stress management, health and wellness, mental health, addiction and recovery, um, biblical counseling. I had suicide prevention. So those are the kinds of tools that I use to be able to more effectively meet people where they are and to minister to people, along with my Bible degree, all of that coming together, just like Jesus did. He met people where they were, geographically, emotionally, spiritually. Okay. He met people where they were. He didn't necessarily wait for people to come to him. He didn't advertise. He didn't, he met people where they were. So that is what he is doing with me, is that I am more able to meet people where they are, um, and be able to minister specifically to particular areas of life. So even if somebody comes to me because they want to heal um, some medical stuff using nutrition, if they come to me that way, all roads still lead to God. And so I am still going to be talking about how God's designed the body, and all roads lead back to God. And so whatever the in is, I meet them where they are. So being, now putting the Ubering alongside this, I am now geographically more able to meet people where they are. I'm inserting myself, or God is inserting me into their daily life. And so as we have these connections or have these conversations, if there is a deeper connection, if I feel that there is a chance for that, if it seems like, okay, God might be doing something here, I hand out my card. And so I have, you may have seen, if you're on Facebook, you may have seen the, one of my pictures that has my business card, and then on the back it says topics I can help with, and then I have keywords, like healthy boundaries, organic evangelism, health and wellness, addiction recovery, salvation Bible questions, self-care, healing nutrition, um, minimalism, improved prayer time, hearing from God. Okay, so there are, those are just some of the key words that I have on the back. So if any of that strikes the, where they're like, and they're intrigued, maybe they reach out to me later on, right? And so the what we're doing is, God and I are positioning me to be able to be inserted in people's lives. And and when I'm having these conversations, I'm explaining about my ministry to people. I say, well, you know what? Basically, I'm like a professional friend. Like, I'm the friend you want to have. I'm actually like, I'm useful. I'm a good cheerleader. Like, I'm gonna come alongside you, and I have some knowledge. Like, it's all informal training because I'm not trying to make a business of this. I don't want, I'm not trying to create a coaching business. I thought that's the route that I was going, but I'm not. I want to just use these as tools in my toolbox to be able to better meet people where they are and to more effectively minister to them. And it also helps me to refer to professionals if that's what needs to happen. And then I can still be walking alongside them as their really good professional friend, right? So that is pretty much what there. It's not a cookie cutter program. Um, it's very authentic. It's very spirit led. All I'm doing is positioning myself to be used by God if and when He wants. That is literally what I'm doing. And I'm just paying attention to whatever it is that He is unfolding, if and when He wants to unfold that. So now, what this means in my, so let's take the Ubering, for example. While, yes, I still get to make some money to supplement my support, I still get to make some money. But at the same time, because making the money is not my goal, there are plenty of time. Like, if that were my goal, if that was my goal, the story that sensitive story that I just shared about the girl who was just found out she was pregnant and was thinking about having an abortion, and we got to have that conversation. If I wouldn't have turned off my requests and I had the next, I knew that this conversation, like, we were having a good conversation. I didn't know about that yet, but I knew enough that something, that we were having a good enough connection. I turned off my requests so that I didn't have anybody else waiting, so that however long she wanted to talk, I was able to talk. And then, of course, that unfolded, and I'm so glad. But now, if I would have been like, well, I'm working and I got to make money, and the money, 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 I would have not even gotten to that point. I wouldn't have even probably asked for her prayer request, because it's like, I got to go, right? I have to go the next ride, because I'm trying to make money. There are plenty of times that I have done that, where I've shut off the requests because I know that this person is wanting to talk and they want to share some things, and we will sit. I don't care. I was actually in the vehicle and I had to go potty. Sorry, TMI, but I had to, and I ended up sitting there with this woman for an hour and a half right in front of her house, cars going around us because I was parked right on the main street. And we sat there and we had a fantastic conversation and shared a lot of deep stuff, both ways. That was a divine appointment. I'm not sure what might come of that later on. I have offered people, especially like the college kids, and what I have offered free rides. Hey, here's my card. If y'all ever want to go grab a bubble tea, or grab a coffee or whatever, I've offered to pick up, cut, like, if somebody has reached out to me and we're kind of in communication, every once in a while I try to give them, hey, I'm going to be in your area. Are you going to be done with work? I'll give you a free ride. You know what I mean? Like, um, so if I were in this to make money, I'm failing. So anyway, that is not, it's a part of what, yes, I need to eat. Yes, I need a roof over my head. Yes, I need these things. And I also need new tires for my vehicle, and I have to invest back in the vehicle. Um, but the goal, I don't want it to be about money. The soul is the goal, right? And so that's the point of what I'm trying to clarify, to give a more accurate picture of how this is working. And the reason that I'm asking for monthly invest or annual investment. I have some people, I have friends, families, congregations, business owners, realtors. I have, all kinds of different people who support me in some capacity, whether it be, okay, they give their amount per month, or they give one annual amount each year, and then I, use it however and divvy it up and I manage it however I need to. So it's different. It's whatever works for those people. But the point is that I just want to clarify what this action, what is really, how this is really set up. And yes, I'm working, but at the same time, there's more wear and tear on my vehicle. I'm putting thousands of miles on, like thousands, very quickly. And so tires are wearing out, brakes, my rotors are warped now. There are things that need to be handled, and I definitely am becoming a better manager of money, a better steward of what God gives me. I'm being more wise and more strategic and those kinds of things. So the funds that I am getting from supporters, it's allowing me to not have to chase the money while I am out and about, because the point of that is truly that the soul is the goal. I want to be available to people. So it's almost like you're paying it forward. For somebody who maybe won't go and get professional therapy, I have a bit of, I have a little bit of knowledge. I have some ABCs in my pocket that I can still help people. And you throw the term coach on there, and it's not quite like, therapy and whatever. So whatever it is that, whatever the in is, to become a part of people's lives. And again, just that I remain available that we are all working together so that I can remain available to the people that God puts in my path. So again, my invitation is to invest in the absolute, the return on investment is always, now results as in like somebody, my that's above my pay grade. The actual results are not up to me. That's between them and God. What I have control of is making myself available and how I meet them where they are and how I share truth with them and love them and care for them. That is what is in my control. And then they will set the pay. You know what I mean? Most people drop us. Most people are not ready. So I am seeking very specific people. So I'm casting the net out there. I'm going out and fishing for people, but it's the minority are going to be ready to go whatever the next level is. But so every soul is worth it. And whether I am just the one who plants a seed, whether they reach out to me a year from now, never, I have no idea. But all I know is that I am responsible for making myself available. And again, the investment from others to support me in that so that I can remain available to whoever God puts in my path. So, I think about that, that and I have to remind myself about that. The results are not up to me. I think about my own timeline, and from the lowest point now God was always there. He was always, well, even when I didn't realize, but from 2009, my lowest point in my life, but it started, I started going in that direction, heading toward God, and thought I was saved in 2013. That's a whole other story. I have a podcast on that if you want to watch it. And then by the time I really studied and really figured out how a person becomes a Christian, that I didn't obey the gospel, how a person truly obeys the gospel, I didn't do that until May 5th of 2016. So we're talking like a 7-year process from the time of my lowest point in life. So 7 years, I mean, that's quite a bit of time. So I don't know where I am in their timeline. And again, they may never get to the point where they put on Christ. I haven't, that's above my pay grade. So anyway, um, that is the point of this, is that I, I will not chase a dollar. I will not. I will make I don't, if I have to be homeless, if I have to live in my SUV, whatever it is that I have to do, I will continue positioning myself to be available for people. It will be so much easier and I will probably be more effective if you help me. So again, if you wouldn't miss $10 in your budget, $10 a month, maybe you're blessed to make a really good living. Maybe God has blessed you in that area and you are able to do more and you want to do more. Okay? Whatever it is, but the point of this is to invite you to invest in these souls with me and with God. If you have any questions, please reach out. Um, I am so grateful for those of you who are already supporting. Um, I am so grateful for those of you who are in my corner who encourage me. Um, Silence can be very discouraging. So thank you so much for the encouraging words, for your prayer. Thank you all for every prayer you send up for me. Please don't ever stop. Again, I thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for whatever position in God's kingdom that you are in. And remember that the soul is the goal.